Hey guys, what's up? We're back with some more WarFrame action, and today we're going to be talking about some gold arrow aesthetic. The WarFrame, the fashion frame for my golden arrow. So I'm kind of going to make a series of videos, sort of going through the various color schemes that I have for some of my WarFrames in the game. I have a specific color scheme for my golden arrow, which I kind of emulate a few places here and there. I also have another color scheme for my Oberon Prime. I have a different color scheme for, say, Zephyr and Mirage Prime, and etc, 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 etc. So just kind of want to make a video series going through those particular color schemes. If you feel like emulating some of them, or maybe augmenting them, changing them in a way, it's up to you. So let's go with the golden arrow color scheme. Now this color scheme does exist on a few other WarFrames that I have at the moment. Most notably would be Nezha Prime. Has a similar scheme as you can see here, and one of my Oberon skins being the Umbra look for whenever I decide to use the Umbra build has a very similar. In fact, it's a kind of similar color scheme. Let's go back to the original first. I'll talk about this particular kind of color scheme later in a separate video, but for the time being, let's talk about the golden arrow color scheme. So as you can see, it is a lot of black and gold, as the Sam Sparrow song is black and gold. Okay, so the gold, you'll find this particular gold in the classic saturated palette. It is right here. I find that this gold is the gold to use because it's the gold that prime colors actually have. So when you use a piece of prime gear, there is, well, maybe not that one. When you use a piece of prime, when you use a piece of prime gear, for example, Necros Prime. When you use a piece of prime gear like Necros Prime, you'll find that there's a lot of these gold bits sort of hanging on Necros Prime, because that is that's a function of Necros being a prime. That happens to be part of the accents color, and it turns out that the classic saturated palette is the closest to that gold, as far as I can tell, at least on the saturated palette. There may be an even closer gold, I'm not 100% sure, but for my taste, I'm very satisfied with this specific color. The one that's lighter is a little bit lighter than normal, as you can kind of tell if you look closely. The ones darker are obviously a little bit darker, but if you want to go for that sort of more deeper gold, sort of darker gold, that's definitely something worth considering. Alright, let's go back to my Mag Prime. Where are you? Here you are. Okay, so the black is the amount of black that's hanging around on Mag Prime is two different blacks. The accents, because the skin that I'm using, the Numa skin, which is of course the legendary skin, yeah, the legendary deluxe skin, it doesn't have the gold shiny parts that your standard prime skin actually has. So there's no real need to use the gold color for that particular part of the skin. Also, as you can see here on Mag's front, on the sort of like little ribbon thing right there, to have this gold accent on top of the gold sort of ribbon thing is kind of really hard to see. It's a lot more noticeable to have the gold ribbon have like a black outline, a black pattern, if you will, because this skin is fantastic. It's really good to accentuate all of the features that this skin has as much as possible. And of course, the skin that I'm using, being the Numa skin, being the deluxe skin, is the best skin in the game, hands down. Like, just straight up. The Numa helmet, on the other hand, not so much. I'm not a big fan. I am a fan of the Numa helmet. It looks really good, but ultimately I've got to stay with the Orbit helmet, because the Orbit helmet is just too good. Like, I really love the design of the Orbit helmet. I really like the style of the Numa helmet too, like for real. And the Pharaoh helmet is quite nice too. I guess this is really a case of taste, but for my taste, Orbit helmet, like, hands down. Especially since, like, if you put on the Numa helmet, which I think I've done a video about, if you put on the Numa helmet, it just I don't know, it just looks a bit distracting to see that. But now that I put it on, I like it. Mag is just really good. Like aesthetic wise, the Mag aesthetic is just top notch. Anyway, I'll just stick to the orbit helmet. Moving on. So the black, one of the blacks being the main body black, as you can see, this particular black right here is the super duper deep dark black from the Smoke Colors palette. So this is actually a Stalker black, and I tend to use this black instead. This is being a sort of a grey because you can kind of, at least there, like the reason why I choose a greyer black as opposed to a black is because there's still some features, particularly on Mag's leg, that can be sort of highlighted ever so slightly without it being white, because the black ultimately also affects Mag's helmet, so you kind of want to go for a different black right there. And then every other color is the gold, so the primary is the gold. The tertiary is also a gold. In fact, this gold seems to, for some reason, not clash with the ribbon, particularly if you put it in the dark. So, like, that's a really good gold. And the energy color, of course, is gold, because I am, of course, the golden arrow. And naturally, with the golden arrow, all of my weapons use a similar color scheme. So my Sonos Prime uses a similar color scheme right there. You can see in all its glory. My Synoid Gamma Core even uses a similar color scheme, although I can't seem to get rid of the purple on the holster. That just seems to be a function of the holster. And my Prisma Obexes are just golden, sort of like fisticuffs, if you will. So that is the Golden Arrow fashion frame as seen in a ton of my videos these days, because she is a fantastic looking Warframe. In fact, I love her so much that I may even go so far as to sometimes feature the Numa helmet every so often. I mean, I'm totally fine with either, because she's so good at fashion framing. Yeah, so that's the Golden Arrow color scheme. If you wanna like have a color scheme similar to that, that's how you can do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for ooh, someone got kicked. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.